Good evening, everyone. And this week we're just going to really quickly cover event quests and then talk a little bit about Title Update 3 because the event quests from last week haven't really changed that much. You've got Kutku, the Forest Conqueror, which lets you continue to earn Woodgeist tickets if you didn't get them the first week. And otherwise, they brought back King of the Faraway Sky, which lets you get a few Ardean weapon materials. So, not a whole lot of changes there. The background footage will be first the King of the Faraway Skies and then the Kutku fight. So, just something to play while we chat. Next week, we're getting back the Gamma Arc Temper or Gamma armor set from Arc Temper Grey Dow, so another chance to fight it. Tongue Tied, so to the ability to build up some armor spheres. And Anguish and Atrocity, which should help you get your hunter rank up if you're not at the minimum to do the new stuff, because next week, starting Monday, we'll actually have Title Update 2 coming out. Talk about that in just a minute when we finish covering the event quest calendar. And the week after next, we get an Inferno Laid Bare, which is going to bring in a new chest piece and a new Phaline piece. It should be interesting to see how that looks. The Arc Tempered Ray Dow will still be up, but then Bullet the Rain comes back and Sandscarred Soul comes back. And those are the ability to farm up some decorations for either weapon or armor, respectively, as well as introducing the challenge quest for Mizutsune. So, starting next week, we will actually be entering the era of Title Update 2, which means a couple things are coming. First of all, we get Legiacrus and Seragios coming in as just standard monsters for us to fight. They'll come in with their tempered versions, all that sort of fun stuff. Really looking forward to actually fighting them. I've missed getting the fight against Legiacruz. It looks like it's going to be a legitimately good fight because it's going to introduce some partial water combat. Not a lot, like it's not. We're not going to be full on fighting in the water, but apparently in some of the transition areas you can actually do things like pull down rocks and stuff on it. So that'll be cool. Other than them, the next biggest feature is going to be the layered weapons. That will actually be kind of cool. Not sure exactly what the restrictions are on it. I know the weapon that you're actually trying to layer in has to be at its max upgrade. But other than that, I can't honestly remember offhand what the requirements are to have the other appearance. I'm not 100% certain that there are other requirements other than maybe that you have the weapon. I can't imagine they'd let you just transmog it to whatever you want it to look like, even if you don't have the weapon. But they didn't really say anything about it being super difficult to do. I hope, at the very least, you have to actually make the other weapon, because then there's motivation to go through and make everything. Among the other additional features, there's a whole bunch of small things that have been mentioned, like a couple different event quests we're talking about. The Fender Special Collaboration, which is coming, if you look down here at this list, around August 27th to September 24th, which, by the way, those guitars look awesome. Don't have the money to have tried to get one whenever they were released, but they do look really cool. Festival of Accord, the Flame Fate, is starting up on July 23rd, so that'll be another festival. Probably will run just like the last one, other than the fact that it'll have a couple pieces of unique armor, but if it's like the previous festival, most if not all of the prior event quests should be available during that time, even if they're not listed in the event quest calendar. And starting on July 30th, we can get Arc Tempered Uthduna. That'll be coming out just in time for me to start back to work, and so I have to slow down on the videos. Either way, it's looking like it's going to be a fun rest of the summer, as long as Legiacruz and Seragios actually end up being cool creatures. Hopefully the weapons from them are worthwhile to use. Legiacruz hopefully has enough actual strength on it to be worthwhile. And Seragios, really keeping my fingers crossed they keep little quirk from it from back in the day on it, so that every so many dodges you actually get some of your sharpness back. Made for some interesting builds. But there were a few other details released, which, by the way, if you're on PC, they did talk about they seem to be starting into trying to do some optimization updates. The one that's launching initially with the title updates, not really super huge for performance issues, but the way they phrase it, it sounds like they're not restricting those features to just title updates. So they should be releasing the optimization stuff as they finish it at that time, rather than saving it to be patched in with everything else. Now, they didn't release any specific details or talk about anything specific that they're working on beyond the actual stuff that is coming with the update. So, can't say much else other than that. To be honest with you, if you're a PC player, if you haven't bought it yet, I wouldn't blame you if you held off until around December to buy the game, just to get the full suite of patches, and probably be all the way up to the point where we'd be waiting around for a title update for it. So, just my thoughts at this point. I can't blame PC players for being pissed off. It's very much deserved that they get a little angry. Yeah, there's plenty of people playing it just fine at this point, but there's still plenty of people with reasonable rigs that are running into issues. So, Capcom's dropped the ball on that, which is a shame because the game's actually pretty fun. And some of the stuff they've talked about with Title Update 3 actually makes that seem even more the case, because not only is there going to be additional monster, which will more than likely turn into additional monsters, because we know at the very least they will probably release another arc-tempered monster. But they specifically address that there's going to be new, more difficult quests added in, and those quests are going to drop items needed to make more powerful talismans that aren't going to be restricted to just armor skills. So, in other words, they're going to actually release another in-game grind to go along with Ardean weapons that should bust builds wide open. Now, granted, it's going to be RNG talismans, but there's so many talismans available in-game that you can get a single talisman for a core build as you need. These are going to be more what used to be referred to as the God talismans, where you'll actually be able to get combinations of skills that can completely make new builds, or free up extra slots to do things like really pump in the offense, but still heavily ramp up defense as well. So, Title Update 3 looks set to address the difficulty issue. I'm really curious how many monsters are going to be at that difficulty level, and if it's going to be a sort of variety from all across the normal difficulties to address a variety of different talismans, or to at least give you different ones that you can shoot for. I don't know, they haven't released many other details than that, so Title Update 3 is looking like one to really keep an eye on, which is one of the reasons why I said I couldn't blame PC players if you wait until December. Simply because you'll see Title Update 3 come around. If there's any more quality of life updates for PC players trying to get them more optimized, they should be accumulating by then, so starting around September would be the point where I would say might be safe to start eyeing getting the game if you've been holding off until they fix some of the issues. Just throwing this out there too, if you can find someone else that has a similar build to you, like similar parts supplied in, you can find out whether or not the game's going to run well on your PC. But, again, can't blame you if you just want to hold off. Besides, probably will go on sale for Christmas anyway. Anyway, loving the game, liking the update roadmap, and liking some of the stuff that I'm hearing coming down the pipeline. So, I'll let the video finish playing out, let you watch me finish beating on the Kutku. Remember, the game is being consistently improved, and it seems like they are coming out with materials that are meant to be a reflection of what the audience has asked for. So it does seem like they're legitimately listening. Are they responding fast enough? If you're a console player, probably. If you're a PC player, probably not. But hopefully they do get it there sooner rather than later, and actually get it to a state where everyone can just kind of come together and enjoy the game as it builds up to its full potential. Anyway, have a good night. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And always remember, if I can beat it, so can you.
This is a...
Good boy. Oh, oh.